W's and L's, the weekly recap show where we give a dub to the things that we do like and an L to the things that we don't. You, me.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to go first?
I don't have a lot. I'll go. Nope. You asked.
I definitely.
You asked.
All right.
You asked, and I
right.
answered.
Go ahead.
Here we go. Which you want to start off? Positive or negative?
Let's start off positive.
Positive. Cool. So there was a great trailer that dropped out of the HBO camp this week. Short trailer for the brand new Game of Thrones series, The House of the Dragon. That's going to be premiering next year. Highly anticipated, especially since season 8 of Game of Thrones was that flaming turd that it was.
I wouldn't know.
So, yeah, of course you know. Of course you don't. But yeah, man, great visuals. I expect the same level. Well, here's the thing. The thing that made Game of Thrones so appealing to me, because I've never been never been big into like the whole medieval age or D&D or anything like that, World of Warcraft. It's never really been my path. You know what I mean? It's not really in my bag, but it made it interesting to me, the story, right? Mm-hmm. That it was dynamic storytelling at its best. Everything from war to political intrigue to sex and money, and it was just beautifully written for the most part. Until we start getting to the part of the series that was more of the vision from the executive producers, as opposed to George R.R. Martin. So that is a point of concern, because this is going to be another adaptation, I believe. Well, so it is based on another one of his books, but just to see how far they are from the source. Mm-hmm. That didn't really work out for them the first time around when they decided to do that at the very last minute in the last 2 seasons. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Much more condensed than what it was supposed to be, I believe. Okay. Was the word on Game of Thrones. 2 L's this week. First one is going out to the Biden admin. Yeah, so we've been railing on them for several weeks now, just for continued negative news in relations to Biden and any sort of black agenda that was proposed prior to us voting, not just in the general election, but in the special election in Georgia, where we essentially handed Democrats the Senate. So it was reported that in the, I believe it's in the reconciliation bill, that the HBCU funding, the federal funding for HBCUs, got cut from $50 million down to 20. Right? So, and all of these hardline stances that we're taking on the reconciliation bill, right, that we're not going to vote for in the, we're not going to vote for the what's the other bill that they got going on? The, oh man, I lost it. The infrastructure bill, $1.5 trillion infrastructure bill. So we're not going to vote on that if we don't get our $3.5 trillion exactly the way we want it. Except, I guess we can cut the money for the black schools if that really has to go. But nothing else goes, or we won't vote for it. You know what I mean? It's just like
we always get handed the short end of the stick.
We said it was going to be like this. We prophesized that it would be like this. But it doesn't make you feel any better to have known to have gotten this from, good old Jim Crow Joe. It doesn't make you feel any better to have known that this is probably where we were going to end up. You give credit where credit's due in the fight for the reconciliation bill, because there are things within that bill that are going to, transform people's lives, to help, working class people. The problem is that the White House didn't seem to have been, throwing the full weight of their influence behind this bill until the last minute, until it was supposed to come to a floor vote last week when they didn't have a deal all of a sudden. Right, so it's a continued negligence, it seems, in every arena that would help Black people. Even the stuff that we criticize, even when they talked about increasing the HBCU spending, I think we talked about it here and how it wasn't broad enough. Right, it was more of a performative show of grace to the Black community, and even in that action, it's still diminished. Right, even in the very performative, marginal increase that we're getting in HBCU funding, even that has to get slashed. So it's just a continued criticism, man, and it won't let up until something changes. It does unfortunately start to strengthen, the other side of people who see this going on, and they take it as, well, that's why we need to run with conservatives. That's why we need to be, we're Republicans. And honestly, it just confirms to me that neither one of the parties are shit. And, that old traditional Black liberal stronghold is no more healthy than the ones that conservatives seem to be throwing out now, that there seems to be a rift with our community and within the Democratic Party, if they even realize that they have a rift, because they take for granted that we'll just be here in the next 4 years.
Yeah, because if we don't vote for them, we're not Black. Despite the fact that I'm voting against my own interests, in effect.
Yeah, man. That's a lot. It's a lot there. Last L I'm giving out is to Deontay Wilder. Spend a little time here.
That's cool, because I gave him an L as well. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not giving him an L because he lost. Because if I'm being completely honest, the man fought a hell of a fight. He
actually came out like a fighter.
Yeah. He's not the most technical fighter. He's not the most technically sound. His fundamentals aren't nearly on par with Tyson Fury's. But even with all of those deficits, how these guys keep fighting with 40, 50-pound weight differences, I'll never understand why that's okay. Like, even if you're saying over a certain weight is heavyweight automatically, right? You have to be able, because you would never let a lightweight fight a featherweight or a cruiserweight, right? You would never let a 140-pound fighter fight a 160-pound fighter. Yeah. You would never do that. Floyd Mayweather would not get into a ring with Canelo Alvarez in a million years. Mm-hmm. Not ever. He put pause on Canelo Alvarez when Canelo Alvarez was 15, 20, 25 pounds lighter and hadn't even come into his full mature body. Yep. He would not touch Canelo Alvarez now because he's just too damn big. So I do find it interesting in this trilogy with them too, that the weight consistency has stayed so different. Like, even with Deontay gaining, getting up to 238, he's still 40 pounds down. You know what I'm saying?
Which becomes crazier when that weight difference becomes an effective part of his game plan going into boxing. Like, putting that weight on him and incentivizing him to not even fight, but just to put his weight on him for a majority of the boxing match.
Lean in. It was a masterful fight, man. You have to take your hats off, because he fought Wilder exactly the way he needed to. And by the end of it, he looked the same way he did, even though he got the 2 knockdowns, right? Mm-hmm. Even though he made it to the 11th round looking like he just refused to go down, but he ended up looking how he looked in the second fight by the end of this fight, because he couldn't outlast that man's will. It is what it is. And I don't think that's anything to be embarrassed of if you're Deontay Wilder. What you do have to be embarrassed of is how you follow it up, right? Because losing this trilogy to Tyson Fury does not define you. It does. Well, excuse me. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to define you, right? Did you become a boxer to go undefeated? Because there's a lot smarter ways you can go about your career if undefeated is what you was going by. I saw in you a fighter who wasn't afraid to step into the ring with anyone, who took all challengers fighting them his way. Right?
Otherwise, you probably wouldn't have fought Tyson Fury 3 times.
Exactly. That's what you showed me in the fights that you've taken and the career that you've had so far. So why taint that with poor sportsmanship? Why taint that by telling this man you don't want to show any sportsmanship after y'all fought this hellacious battle and he finally gets you down on the ground for the last time in the 11th round? That's an all-time great fight, man. People going to be talking about that fight for years to come in a heavyweight division that is reinvigorated boxing. And you was part of that. You spearheaded that.
Yeah.
You would rather put your ego before all of that and be Adrian Broner? That's what you want to reduce yourself to? You want to be AB? You gonna go from to this day to I just beat the hell out of a Mexican? That's what you want to make of yourself?
Nobody should want to be AB.
Fam, Floyd Mayweather went 50-0, right? But he did it dancing around his competition for the better half, at least the back half of his career, right? People do not hold, well, at least from my perspective, we don't hold Floyd to the same esteem as Ali, Frazier, Foreman, Hearns, Hagler, Robinson. You don't necessarily want to slide him in there, even though you have to give him his props on his talent, but you don't want to slide him in there because he ducked guys. Deontay Wilder don't duck anyone. He fought who he fought, and when he ran into the wall, he kept going at that wall. Now he lost, but he kept going at that issue. He didn't run from it. He didn't hide. He tried to go get his issue. That I respect. You not shaking that man's hand after that fight, I don't respect that. I don't respect that. You shouldn't taint your legacy like that, man. Because now, like I said, you looking more AB than Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao will be held as a top 10 boxer of all time, hands
Easily.
down. Hands down. Manny Pacquiao done lost some bad fights. Manny Pacquiao has had some bad losses.
You can lose and be legendary. A lot of the names that you mentioned are legends despite losing.
Doesn't have to, man. If Muhammad Ali can go out there and lose, Ali, that's my greatest of all time. So if Ali can take a loss, you can take a loss, fam. It can be one guy who is your antithesis, who could just figure you out. Make that just happens your motivation. To be the best
of this era,
man. Go get right. Go beat the hell out of Joshua. Go beat the hell out of Ruiz. Get you a few more cream puffs and come at him again. Or else are you gonna Ronda Rousey yourself? You're gonna sink into a hole and quit boxing and start acting. I swear to God, if I see Deontay Wilder in some movies in the next couple of years, he pussy. I ain't say that for real, but I said it.
He could be in some movies, just not like this.
No, dead ass. If Deontay Wilder end up in movies in the next couple of years, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Don't Ronda Rousey yourself, bro. Don't quit. Don't give up. Because then that means he owns you. He owns you.
If he leaves forever and does movies, then that's one thing.
Holly Holm owns
Ronda
Rousey. Diaz owns Conor McGregor. It is what it is. Don't be those guys. Don't have your entire career derailed because of one opponent. Get better. Get better. Go back to the lab. Be a better boxer.
And this was definitely a better fight from him than the second fight.
You want to be undefeated or you want to be great? Undefeated is already over. So who cares about a loss at this point, man? Go back to the lab. Do something different. Try to figure it out. But
do it respectfully.
For God's sakes, don't sit up there and pout in the ring, bro. I can't respect that. Can't do it.
Agreed.
That's it.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. All right. Let's see what I got on my little list here. So my first L, aside from Deontay Wilder, obviously, goes to the Columbus Zoo.
Oh, bruh.
The Columbus Zoo has lost accreditation. Accreditation? Did I say that right? Accreditation?
Yeah, accreditation. That's
bro.
sad, man. That's sick. I love the Columbus Zoo.
Who in
That's
Columbus
sad.
doesn't love the zoo, dog? It's San Diego Zoo, and then it's us. Like, ugh.
A whole
If you don't know,
African
the Columbus
safari at
Zoo
the
is
Columbus Zoo.
literally top 2, and it's probably not 2 as far as zoos
It
go.
is a very
In my
good
heart,
zoo.
at least. And for it to lose that, it sucks. Now they will appeal, but after the whole situation where they lost all those the lions and all sorts of exotic animals, it doesn't look very good. So we'll see.
See, since all the Tiger King stuff came out, I look at zoos in a different light, seeing how some of these facilities operate. For some reason, I had just had it made up in my mind that, these enclosements, these environments that they're holding exotic animals in was much more regulated than what it actually is. And when you begin to find out that these are just dudes, they're just dudes and girls, regular people. They just regular, ordinary people who got money to open up large scale animal viewing, and they have enough money to start the venture. They don't have any special qualifications. There's very little background checks being done on these people buying these exotic animals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, it's kind of sick because I don't know, all of that. You buying animals illegally, you selling them illegally, you're embezzling money from the zoo. It's all of these allegations going on right now, man. The only thing I think about, I can't get my normal summer session in at the zoo because now y'all ain't got no rhinos and no lions.
Facts.
Going up there to see the penguins.
You know what I mean? Like any animal you could think of, they had it in spades. So it's just like,
yeah. And I mean, as far as animals being out of their elements goes, it's a very, very clean place. It's very well kept.
Yep.
The enclosures are vast. There's a lot of property out there.
A lot of space, a lot of room.
Basically, POW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dublin POW. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bunch of space out there. It's just. That's sad, man. I hope they go in there and clean it out, man. So
something.
If they stay open, just clear the coffers, get all the existing leadership and clear house, man. Unfortunately, that's the only way to start over.
Yeah, for sure. My only other L goes to your favorite, Lil Durk. So Lil Durk posted, and I think he was trolling, to be honest with you, but he's still gonna catch this L. He posted a top 50 greatest rappers list. And that list, I will give him a dub in the sense that he did not put Coi Leray on this list. I'm happy about that.
Why in the hell would he ever?
Well, he kind of put some other people on this list. Blueface is on that list. Nav is on that list. Rich the Kid is on that list. YNW Melly is on that list. Nicki Minaj is on that list.
This is like his top 50 dead or alive?
Top 50 greatest rappers. It didn't
greatest
specify.
Rappers of all time. Okay.
It didn't specify dead or alive, but
Okay.
Actually, I don't think it could have been dead or alive because I'm sure maybe he did put King Von. I can't even remember now. It's 50 people. I can't remember. But I would assume he would put Von on there. So I think he did actually. So I guess dead or alive.
If those are his musical influences, it definitely makes sense. Definitely reads.
Blueface does not belong on anybody's top 50.
Blueface, baby? Not Blueface, baby.
Blueface, Nav does not belong on anybody's top 50 anything. Gross.
I feel like saying the name Nav in hip-hop, or not hip-hop, excuse me, Nav and rap in the same sentence is sacrilegious. I just don't think.
You know what I mean?
It's just not.
And like I said, the only saving grace of this list is that somehow he didn't put Coi Leray on there. And I'm so happy he
were
didn't.
There any sensible picks? Did I see a Nas? Did I see a Hove? Did I see
I don't think I
Scarface?
Saw Hove. But there were some that's like, okay. But not many at all.
How high was Blueface?
Blueface is actually towards the bottom, but he's on the list.
It's top 50.
He's on the list. Like, come on, bro.
Okay.
What's up with you? You deserve an L for that. But speaking of Nas, my one and only dub this week goes to Nas.
Okay.
So he's actually gearing up to release a masterclass on Masterclass. Basically, I think it has to do with the art of storytelling. And so that's what he's kind of teaching in this masterclass. So with that, he actually released another song with Hit-Boy called Big Nas. So we get another Nas and Hit-Boy collaboration for the end of the year.
Okay.
But I don't know if he said this specifically in the masterclass or if he just said it in general, but he said he loves his energy in collaborating with Hit-Boy. We might be seeing a King's Disease 3.
3?
Now, I don't know if that's going to happen sometime before the end of this year or hopefully next year.
Nas
we are probably going to see it.
Niggas. He has been reinvigorated.
Yes.
He has life breathed into him. He's got a second wind. He said, I'm going to get these bars off as long as you niggas is listening. And I'm listening. So keep them coming.
He definitely has the major key with your homeboy Hit-Boy. And they seem to just love working with each other. And I hope we get King's Disease 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, keep them coming. Because every time you drop, your album of the year worthy. So I'm down to hear it. I would like to see it. I would like to see it.
I would like to see it.
Still waiting on this Pusha Neptune's album, man. I'm
still waiting on Pusha. Still waiting on Kendrick. Still waiting on SZA.
Yeah. K-Dot, SZA. Who else? Travis.
Travis might probably be dropping soon.
And then it's feeling like we're not gonna get a Cole, but then again, I could see him around like Thanksgiving and just drop that shit on Black Friday or something.
I can see that. I can see that. I just started listening to Off Season again, so I'd be here for it.
Yeah,
we'll see, man.
Let's get some music, man.
Shout out to Tyler the Creator. I think he just won a BET award for his hip hop album
for his nasty work.
Oh,
for his
big time.
for his fizzle pop work,
but his album of the year work. Potentially.
It was a very good album, but I just feel so dirty.
But super nasty.
Feels so dirty.
Any other dubs, L's, thoughts, any other thing needs to be commented on this week?
Nah, man. Good week, good pod.
Good week, good pod as always.
Like, share, subscribe.
We out. You better subscribe. I'm watching you. I see you. Hit that button. Smash the like button.
Whoa.
Yikes. Anyway, we out.
Hey! Where y'all going? Where y'all going? You a legend, bro.
Thanks for watching another Back of the Bus Squad episode. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
Want to check out another episode related to this, go ahead and click that video to the left.
And if you want to catch up on some of our other episodes, make sure you click the playlist below.